So you'll come to this screen after login in inside Anaplan. Then comes your different structures over here. The home is the place where you will have your models, your pages, whatever needs to be shown to your first to third person or first user front end users. Then you will be showing that, and apps is basically the combination of multiple pages. Over here, you will have your different models where you will be working. Then comes your I'll say different structures over here. So there is a part that is named as Plan IQ. It is for your statistical methods to go with forecasting. It is not a part of this all course. It is a different unit altogether. After L2, you will be able to go through these courses and they are free to learn on Anaplan Academy. So this is part after if you have implemented anything regarding to a project of Anaplan, then you can go through a Plan IQ. It is more of a statistical approach regarding supply planning, demand planning. For those kind of model, it is required to have a forecasting number generated from Plan IQ. Then moreover comes another part that is your workflow. I don't know if this ID is having that access. So the workflow is basically like if you want to do any change inside model, from front end user perspective and you need any approval. So basically workflow is more of that need takes care regarding the approval stage. So basically there can be three users A, B, C, and if A needs to go through an update or send any update regarding any of the numbers in a grid, so then A will be sending that to B, that if he has changed anything, then that needs to be approved, then only that will be taken care inside the main model structure. So this is how workflow works. It is more of a structure that you can create for different users as per their designation or roles in the inside the system. Then these are just the new things and all. Then comes the CloudWorks. It is for the integration part. Like if you want to integrate any of your earlier data lake, that can be your SAP, that can be your Google, that can be your Azure, that can be your Amazon Workspace, AWS Workspace. So you can directly go through this CloudWorks. You can have your integration button over here. There you can connect your API through different LC platforms, maybe Postman or somewhere from where you can basically connect your things over there. We will have everything over here. You can go through different things. Then we'll go through our models. So basically over here, you will see different models. We'll start with just a practice model over there. I'll be showing you how time and versions looks like. For now, we'll be working to more on time and version as of today. And for tomorrow, we might end up working on list and modules.
Okay.
So yeah, so basically for time, so this is how the structure looks like, the interface for Anaplan. So inside this, I'll guide you a short brief on every, I'll say, option, and then we'll probably brief about time and version. So this is about time. Over here, you can set a model calendar for whatever I'll say uh, parameter that needs to be there inside your model. It can be on weekly basis, 4 4 5, or maybe general basis, or 13 weeks, 4 weeks. So just a category that you can use in terms of your interface of whole model, or else the structure that needs to be created. So you can always change it whenever it is required. But the point is, once you start building your whole model, modules and things, you don't change it. If you'll change it, you might end up having your data loss and things. So you need to consider if this is an workforce model, and if it is something different, then what I'll say what kind of data would be there. If data would be on weekly level, monthly level, quarterly level, yearly level. So on that note only, you have to always decide that what could be the calendar type. Then comes your starting month. So there are two, three type of things which goes around. So basically inside India, so financial year starts with your April, and just a general year for your different calculation might end up starting from Jan, and then comes your from in different, like for Australia or places, they're starting The month is September, so you can always change this. So this change basically goes through whatever modules you will create. The starting month for those modules, for example, this, if I'll go through the calendar timings, I'll show you. Just create a module. So this is in calendar year which we are taking just this time. So basically it is starting from Jan 25. If I'll go to my time period, and if I'll, so over here you can see the fiscal year is Jan 25. So let me start my year from April. I'll go through April, I'll start it with July. If I'll go to this again, my year will start from April, and the consolidation will end up on your same side. That is your last month would be March 25, and after that you will have your FY 25 consolidation value. So this is how you change your fiscal year start month, and this is just in 2-digit format or 4-digit format for the year thing. Then comes whatever I'll say this,
Two digit
uh
and four digit format.
which one?
24. What do you mean by two digit, four digit? Two
So
twenty
if
four.
you'll,
Okay.
yeah, so if you'll go inside this one, so it is
Okay.
just
I
this
got it.
part. So
I
yeah.
got it.
Yeah, so this is just for the year part if you want to show it as 2-digit or 4-digit. Then comes here this part if you want to change it from FY, that is your FY fiscal year, or if you want to have this at something else, so you can always change it. And then comes your fiscal year label, like add month of the year, or you want it to be in the start month of the year, just
Hmm.
like that. Like if you want it to be named as FY 25 range, it will be FY 25. If you want this to be from the start one, it will be FY 24. So from there, you can always change it. Then comes your starting phase. So these are as of now the things from where you can have the data. Like for example, if I'll start because it is 25 ongoing, so I'll start it with FY 25. So if I'll go with number of past years to be like historical years to be 2, and I want future years to be 3, I can do so. And then if I'll apply, so my starting period for this would be your 1st of April, that 23, because we have aligned it as past years to be 2. So you can see your April 23 is your first year, because we
Okay.
have given that historical to be 2, and then comes your future year, that is after 26. So it will be
Yeah.
aligned to that, the addition of new years inside your timeline. So it is 29. So this is how things work on these options. Then comes your current period. Like for example, if you're going through the whole month, so your starting is April, but as of now, your basically month is September. So you can always choose whatever month it is. So for example, if we choose September 25 and apply, this won't change a lot inside timeline, but this will have you as in like this would be used inside versions. So after like 20 September is 25 is marked as your current year. So before that, if you will see just from an knowledge POV, so it is more of like before this would be your actuals, and after September
Yes.
25, September 25 will be your I'll say
Fine.
current one, and then comes your forecasting period. This is
Yeah.
from versions point of view. Then comes whatever totals or things you want inside your model structure. It can be a half year total. Year to date summary refers to year from April to September 25, that summary, and then year to go like from October to your end of that, that is March 26. And then comes your total of all period, that is addition of everything. Maybe as if I click on this, so it will be in the end, whatever data we have across all the years that we took inside the system, so that the addition of all the numbers inside that system will be shown inside this last value, that is your all periods, regarding all periods thing. So this is how we manage time model calendar. This is one of the parts. So basically what happens is, and then comes your second part, that is time ranges. So what happens is, for example, I have set it across 5 years, or I might end up having 3 historical years or 7 past years. So how things get calculated inside Anaplan is it is more of an size thing on cell level. So if I'll have more years, then and I have n number of items inside my module, then it will have a dimension like multiplication of dimensions. So regarding this 100 into 100, so this particular model will comprises of n number of cells. So basically, as of now, it is showing 96 cell count because we have only one line item. If I'll end up adding any, I'll say XYZ, something like this. If I'll end up adding this, so my cell count for the whole module will increase as per that value. So this has been increased as 480, and after that, things go around. Like this model size will increase. Whatever number of cells you have, that will directly affect your model size. So what happens is if I don't want to, for this particular module, I'm using whole calendar. And if I'll decrease this, so you can see if it is 480, as of now, the value of this is 480. If I'll decrease this amount, if I want to decrease my future years to be only two, and if I click OK, then if I'll go to this same point, then I'll have this at 360 because my number of years, or I'll say time dimension, has been changed.
Yeah.
So basically, what happens is why we use time ranges. So time range is a shorter or subset version of time. So basically, there must be places I don't want to use whole structure. I only want to have only three past years that it is for my historical data, and I don't want to future. Yes, I don't. I only want to kept that past 3 years or 5 years or 10 years of data. I don't want whole calendar. There you can have a change that is your time range. So you can always have a time range different from model calendar. Model calendar will go for all the modules if by default, if not checked by time range. So if I will end up making any of the time range, and if I'll start it from, I'll say, maybe if this is in future year, like past year, I can start it from FY29. I'll have it number of periods to be seven, maybe, or I'll start with only three. Let me have this same time range. So I can have same options over here also. So as of now, inside this, my time is starting from April 22. But if I'll change my time range over here from model calendar to whatever I have created, that is your test one, then I'll have a significant change in my cell values as well as just a second. So you can see it is only 180 and it will start from 19. So this is just an specific time range that needs to be required for as per data purpose. Just a second, I'm getting a call. Hello. Yeah. So this is how we use time range and model calendars while going through the, I'll say, building purpose. You can see this, just a second. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is how we go through the time thing while our building process. So this is time range, this is model calendar. If you have any doubt regarding this, you can ask me.
No, I think it's good.
Okay, so this is how we go through the building. You can have n number of time ranges as per your data, or you can go through a default time period that is a model calendar. Then comes your next part, that is your versions part. So versions is basically wherever we were trying to go through this time thing. So basically we can have n number of versions. There are two type of versions. This is system versions, and we also go through a different unit, that is your custom versions, that we work around inside generalist. We used to make versions over there. So basically the difference between this system version and a version that I will make, for example, just for an example, if I go through versions over here. This is just a list. Inside this, I can go through that same names, that is your budget, forecasting, actuals, variance, scenario, whatever n number of versions. You can make that, but the difference between both are custom versions are frequently used in models and in model building just because they are more reliable and you can always customize them with formulation, and that is very easy. And regarding, they have more options in customization than this your versions, system version. Inside system version, you can always end up adding any of the versions. For example, if I start with budget, this is actual. So basically, there are three versions for you to work on. You can always take this version inside your module. You can on that version. If it is a system version, you can always go through this option. You can start it as all. If I'll go through this module, I'll have a dimension over here, that is your budget, actual
Okay.
and forecast. Just like that, you can have it directly inside the model. Just a second. This is how. So basically, if I'll start with my budget kind of thing, if I'm putting it as 1,000 for my actual whatever X number of things. For example, for I can change my dimension over here, and I can change for actual whatever I did as a number. Maybe I have sold 900, then I can go through my forecasting. In forecast, you can't put numbers. It is more often coming through a formulation logic or somewhere. So it depends. Like for example, if we'll go through a different time zone, just going through the model calendar again. And if I'll put my model calendar's time inside this current period to be of only September 22. I'll go over here and then I'll start my switchover period to be your Sep 22.
What do you mean by switch over period?
So basically, after this period, data would be of forecasting.
Okay.
Actuals will have your actual data.
And this option is only for forecast, not for other versions, or we have that
You
option there.
we can have that option over there also. So you can see after like this, you can basically input for forecast. What it will do is you have to formulate this whole structure, and formulas will come on the other lesson part. But anyways, just a short thing. Like after September 22, you'll be able to input data that can be roughly just by your assumption that you this would be something that you going through. If you can always go through a different formulation. So over here, there's an option. This is formula scope over here. You can write a formula inside this, and you can go through like if it is for actual version, if it is for custom current version, or if it is for all version except actual. So from here, you can go through your formula scope that will come down the line. But yeah, since from just from versions point of view, switchover is more of a period where you
Mm.
can have your data differently from or maybe in a manual input or kind of thing, and before that it will be more often your
So
coming
every
through
month,
sheets.
once the month changes, we'll have to go in and keep changing in this module.
Correct. Correct, correct,
There
correct.
is no easier way to do it.
What happens? It is an interactive tool. You will have this on dashboard, and people there would be an admin who will be doing changes inside model time as well as your switchover time. That model needs to be changed.
Every month.
Yeah, every month. You can always fetch I'll say import button coming through your data lake, or maybe SAP or somewhere. Then it will be automated and scheduled as per that button. You can
Okay.
have that automation, but yeah, as of now, if you are just working on inside modules only and you are not connecting this to any of your data lake or something, then it will go through only this stuff. Like you have to do that manual changes.
Okay.
So you can always have current, then your actual version, then comes your forecast. So what you can choose between these. So this is what system versions looks like. And if I'll
What
you
is
go
current?
through,
What is current?
so current is basically budget will go like just let me mark this current and let me show. Let us have budget as current. So basically, this is more of an coming through your calendar thing. So whatever current period you will have,
Mm-hmm.
starting from there only, inside your where is version? Inside your this structure, you will have your current period. It is more of an marking as an informative also goes through. If I'll change switch over and things like that, for current period, it won't work as good as from this system point of view.
So what
This is
budget current is on. So now it means we will be able to enter the data.
at current, yeah, from budget point of view, you will have all the time scale working inside current value,
Okay.
just like that. Then comes your next thing regarding what I was saying with custom version. It is widely used. I would say if I'll be building any of the model, I'll be going through this version, this part of this. The reason behind that is it is easy to formulate. Just let me show you one of the formula if I want to go through this version.
It will not allow budget, right? You have to rename.
It will allow. Inside list it is okay.
Okay.
So if I'll go through this and if I'll change system versions, if I'll off these versions and I'll have my list over here that I made for custom versions. Let me show you. So what we do is we more of a go through the formulation part. So for that, like Indian clients more of goes through custom version because they need more customization inside their structure. I'll have to go through this applies to, I'll add my custom versions in it. I'll click OK, then I'll have my budget and another thing that I have made. So for example, if I want to formulate this part, I'll directly go through this. Like if it is, this is not possible in versions, like in the system version, you can't specifically have formulas for different X versions. And inside Indian clients, it is more of like they need scenario planning and things. And inside that, this is a big help while going through custom version. If it is budget, then I'll say it should give me value from your D. And if it is else, another any of the other one, maybe forecast or anything else, I'll go with F. Just a second. So basically, if I'll this as 10, this will give me 10. But inside forecast, if I'll go, it won't give me any value. If either I'll mark this D as 100, it won't work because over here we are marked it. If it is custom, like if it is budget, then we'll have value from D. If not, then we'll have value from F. This is how it is. So basically, this is just an from just a very small scenario. I'm showing this. So basically, inside this, you can have different interlinking of your own versions. Yeah, I can have different variant scenarios, worst case scenarios, maybe a I'll say a black year, just like COVID, I can mark it like for if it is a black year, just fetch data from the any different module. So just like that, you can link those versions over here. But inside the system version, you can't go through formulation like this easy. It will take a lot of things. You'll have to go through different formulation, make multiple grades, then you have to reconnect it. But inside custom version, you can easily go through your formulation in line items only. So this is one of the biggest reason why we use go through custom versions.
Okay.
Yeah. So it is more of an whiteboard where you can go through different structures and you can go through different customizations and things. So this is the
So,
major part for time and versions. Yeah.
so anything else apart from custom version that we can create in this general list?
You can create n number of things.
Like, yeah.
So basically in list, it is more of, I'll say, heart of this whole system. So basically inside modules, there are three dimensions, or I'll say probably four dimensions. I'll go with that. That would be time. If we are not making time, so there are modules where we don't want time. So we'll drop time over here. It will come as your page, that is your selector over here. So in selector you can have your lists, whatever list you'll have. Maybe it can be department, employee, organization level, designation, or x number of n number of lists you can create. That can be in hierarchy and things like that. So you
Mhm.
can have them in pages, maybe in columns, maybe inside this your rows, wherever you want to, whatever pivot you want to create, you can have those lists inside there. So this kind of lists are kind of hard for your
So,
module. And then comes your line item, whatever values you want to create for that particular structure. For example, I have n number of employees. If I'm going to have that employee, then I want to have different, like for example, UID, that is your unique ID. And then I can have, I'll say name, I can have last name, I can have n number of details in front of that employee. I can have that in line item. Inside line item, you can always formulate things. And then comes your this custom version or system version, you can always take that. So this is how you create a model with different dimensions, and you can always switch or swap around dimension inside the structure.
so these, like the organization, department, project, these are pre-built or you just created them for
You
the test?
you, you have to rebuild
Okay.
these all things. I
Mhm.
haven't created this, but yeah, you can always have, like you can see. So this is just an something which anyone has created from this particular module. So you can always have these. You can have UID, you can have name in place, you can have for as per budget, actual or whatever things,
Mhm.
or
Okay.
n number of things details in front of that.
Okay.
You can create whatever number of list or data you have, you can create those lists.
And what is this top level parent hierarchy, selective access, production data? What is all this?
Yeah, so basically what I'll tell you is this is an L4, but yeah, I can probably tell
Okay.
you this.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But anyways, I'll tell you this. So basically what happens is this is a whole interface for your list kind of thing. So top level refers to more of an all option. Like by default, if you want to aggregate or consolidate any of the value, for example, in my custom versions, if I want to write it as all, so all works as an parent only for the consolidation. If I'll go over here, so you'll see it is an auto parent. All is like addition of budget as well as forecast,
Mm-hmm.
which is obviously wrong inside custom version.
Yeah.
Everything is different. But yeah, just an example point of view, it can be all just an consolidation view. If I'll go to this where we have created this, so basically project alpha, these are different parents. But in this list, this name of list is your employee. So I want something on the top level. For example, inside this, I want this to be maybe total. I can write anything. So basically total. So if I'll go now to this file, I'll have a thing over here, just a refresh, or maybe the parent has been, this is a number list, I guess. This is a number list. Okay, just a second. So there are different type of list also that also needs to be taken care of. Just a minute. So for example, these are n number of values. If I'll go over here and if I have this as total, and if I'll applies to over here, so if I'll go to this grid view, you can see this is an parent for all now, a
Mm.
default parent. So this is how top level is. It is more of an aggregation for all the values. If I'll go over here, if I'll have that particular list intact over here, I'll change this employee, I'll go over here, I'll have this. So you can see this, and then if I'll have my summary on, that is kind of an consolidation value that also comes in different chapter, that is for modules, just showing you how it works. So if I'll have my sum on, so this total will show me all the
Mhm.
values across the line, the sum of all the values.
Mhm.
You can always change if it is the summary needs to be of sum, average, ratio, whatever
Mhm.
value is required.
Got it.
Yeah, so as per that, you will have this is 1.667, whatever X number of things.
Mhm.
So this is how this top level works. It is more of a parent thing. Now comes the second part, that is parent hierarchy. So it is somewhat same with top level, but it is more like, for if I have 10 or I'll say 5, 6 level of hierarchies,
Mhm.
then this parent thing is required. So for example, if I'll go inside this, so this is marked, this parent is marked as project. If I'll remove this, and if I go to this parent again, so you won't see anything. You will have only total as top level.
Mhm.
But
Now
earlier we had,
can you add the parent and can we say it again?
yeah, yeah. So if I'll go here and if I go with this project thing, I'll applies to, if I'll go and I have to remap the parent part.
Mhm.
So for John Smith, if I want to have project alpha as parent, it will go in project alpha. For this, if I want to have project beta, I'll have project
But
beta in
when did
this.
we define this project alpha and beta?
So it is inside different list in this project list.
Oh, okay.
So if I want to have something called X project or something like this, so you can have
Can
that also over here.
we can assign it to a project or a department, anything, right?
Yeah, correct. So basically, we can you can see you have X project also over here. So this is a parent part of list. So we have assigned project as the parent of this particular list. So they'll
Yeah.
have this as their parent, and we can always assign parent to their lower granular level. So in this phase, for example, if you have an hierarchy of 5 levels inside your organization, that can be the first group can be your org one, that is CEO, then comes your partners, then associate partners, then comes your next level. So you can have everything in a list. You will have a different list for everything, and then you can maintain the structure. For example, if I'll go for an another just another list that can be, I'll say, more than a project, it is more of an category kind of structure. So if I'll have a category over here before project or after, like the reorder doesn't takes a lot. If I'll go and if I'll mark things like this, like it can be your A, then can be your B, can be your C. So we have 3 items inside this, and inside project, if I want to mark this as category, so it would, the hierarchy would be, first would be category, then project, and then comes your employee.
But if we
So
want
if,
to add two different mappings, we cannot do that. So if I want
no,
to
we,
do a employee
hmm.
have a project category as well as department category, I cannot do that.
In same like parent can be only one.
Yeah.
But you can make that kind of mapping in like if you want to have a customized mapping where you want to show like parent and category both having a same parent,
Mm-hmm.
then you can do that in modules. You can go through that, you can make a property, and it is a bigger part of like different part of story where you
Mm-hmm.
can have those things and you can use that in lookup. This is how it works. If I'll go inside parent, so I'll see ABC also over here, and that will mark, like for example, X project. If I'm marking A as an parent, for B or project alpha also I'm marking A as an parent, and for the beta part we'll mark it as B. So
Mm-hmm.
what change we'll see in employee is, You will see we have A, then comes their other child, that is project alpha and X project. Then comes their last value, that is your John Smith and John.
Okay.
So this is how hierarchy structure you can make. Inside list, there are three parts. Parent, you already got knowledge about this, that it is more of a wherever you are assigning this. If I'll change this to project beta, so this will go down over here.
Mm-hmm.
So just like that, you can always change the hierarchical structure. Then comes your code. Code needs to be unique for all the values. It won't take same code at all. It is just an unique ID. For example, if you in an organization you have your employee number, so you can use that as in code. It is a unique thing. So there can be same names, though this list is not a numbered list. So there are type of like, yeah, this is a number list, so there are type of lists where it can take same name. So you can see John Smith coming two times, but the code is different. This is 5 8, this is 3 9, right? So
Yeah.
there needs to be some uniqueness. If it is numbered, then only it will show you same name. If I'll mark this differently, if I'll untick this number list, if I'll apply, then it will only show me that code. It won't show me this display name. It is like #1, #2, something like that. And if I'll change this, for example, I'll change this as John. And if I'll try to change this value also, and if I'll write this as John again, then it will give me that this clashes with an existing list member. If it is not marked as number list.
Okay.
So that is in part of, I'll show you that inside the list structure. It is part of theory. So basically there are different type of list. This is one of the type of list. So normal list won't let you have same names, and number list will let you have same name but with a different code.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is how this thing works. Then comes your these axes, and this is a broader part of view. I don't think that will be useful as of now, but just a small thing. Selective axis, for example, if you have n number of users, we have like 4 5 users over here, and you want that for this particular project, that is maybe as a project beta, you only want this particular person to have that
Access.
uh, access to, then you can always mark this as like this. You will have this structure readily over here. So I'll give write access to only this guy. Then for this project alpha, I'll give access to only this particular guy. Just
Mm-hmm.
like that, you can have it. You can have obviously two people over here. You can always select multiple ones. And then if you want to give access to both the projects, you can go to their parent level or to the top level. You can
Mm-hmm.
give that access directly over there. So the admin will have access to everything. This is write access, this is read access. You can always go through if they want to only read the data or they want to write the data. So as per that, access goes through. This is in part of select access. This is we are basically going through last chapter that comes
Okay.
under security. But yeah, anyways, this is part of that.
Okay. Okay.
Then comes like these are also in L2. But yeah, this is that number. So these are more of an options, just an from informative also, how many item count. Category you can always assign. For example, if it org structure, department, something, this is just an informative something kind of thing. Like you can always go to like this comes under which category, just like that. Then comes your notes, and wherever you are using that list inside module, it will show over here. That is referenced in applies to.
Okay.
So yeah, this is how you go through the list building. So you will have different, I'll say, uh, things inside list. Just going through a small overview of time. So we have covered everything, I guess. Then comes your just set time dimension inside model calendar. It will tell you what to change current fiscal year, or I'll say from business purpose, what calendar type, what to include, what not to include. So this is how you can change inside your calendar. This is just user activities that you'll be going through while your building phase will go on. Then comes your version switch over. This is just I'll say how to set version and things. So this is more of an theory kind of structure. You can see like which needs to be there with what options. And yeah, then it will end up like you did this. just tick it, and then you'll complete this lesson. So this was the whole overview of time and versions. If I'll go through the list part also. So yeah, the main more thing is like better you get access early, so you will have more view to these things, and you will be able to complete your activities and things.
Yeah.
It's always required password. Just a second. So you have got the certification also, right, for the Anaplan way?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So you might have only theoretical part left for more of a list thing. Let me take you through that. This is your list thing. So there are video lectures, then comes your activity thing, and then comes your theoretical part. Although theoretical part is not that important if you get hands-on to the main activity and things. So this is how it will go through. That is, there are these type of list, flat list, which is not having any parent or relationship. So basically, if I'll go over here.
Yeah.
So basically, this particular list, I'll say for this department, there is no parent or hierarchy structure linked to this. If I'll go over here, everything is totally empty as of now. Okay. But yeah. So this is just an example. So you will have this is in flat list. You can use it anywhere. Just versions, custom versions needs to be a flat list without a top level. This is just an example of flat list which is not linked to any of their existing list. So this is how flat lists are. Then comes down your line. A hierarchical list that is having parent, and you can always make that structure two, three, or more lists are aligned to that tree structure and parent thing. Then comes your number list that I have told you that is regarding the same name or duplicate items are there, then you use a number list.
Mm-hmm.
How to configure a number list that I show you. So for example, if I have marked this particular employee or that this particular list as number list, or I can do one more thing. So for example, I want to go through the department list and I'll have same names inside this.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll mark this as number list. Then what happens, the Anaplan will give me a different codes to this, and in front of in reference to these codes, I have to write some names, and that goes inside properties. So property is kind of lined items only inside this structure. So if I'll go with name. I can have n number of properties, which is having different I'll say formats. So this format is as of now number, but I can always go through text as of now, and I'll give you a short summary about formats also. So basically, if I'll name it as AG, then I'll also name this also at AG, this also, and then comes as just like this. Then I'll have to go through this general list, and I have to mark inside this display name property, like what would be the name for that thing. If I'll have n number of properties, I can choose from them that list. But as of now, there is one property. I'll name this as name A. If I'll go over here, I'll have AG, and SG.
Mm-hmm.
So this is how you can go from format point of view. So this is same for modules also. You will have same structure inside the format thing. For number, you can always have n number of, I'll say, significant digits. Then comes your decimal places. If you want decimal places to be 3, 4, something like that, you will have it. Then comes your decimal point. If it needs to be comma or dot, just like that. Then your separator can be dot, comma, space, just like that, thousand separator. Then minus or brackets. If it is minus, then comes your zero format. It can be like blank. Like if this value is particularly zero, then your cell will show blank or
Yeah.
maybe zero or hyphen.
Okay.
Then comes if the unit needs to be in percentage or currency, that can be USD. What would be the symbol, currency code you can always have. Then comes your other unit that comes like if you want to have custom unit, maybe this, maybe anything, it needs to be in prefix or suffix. So
Mm-hmm.
you can play around that.
Okay.
So this is for your number kind of thing. Then comes your boolean that is just true and
Sorry, can
false.
you go back?
Sorry,
Can you go back to number?
this
What is compare increase in value is good? What is this?
this is like if your cell is
Okay.
having a value positive, bad, neutral, just like
Okay.
that.
Okay. Conditional
Then
formatting.
yeah, kind of. Then comes your boolean that is true, false only. Then comes your date. It is on a format. Then comes your time period. If you want this to be a time period inside your structure, if I'll start with month and if I'll press OK, this won't allow me because we have display name property over there. But inside this, let me show you different values. So if I'll go with one of this, maybe boolean, I'll show you. So it is just an, I'll say boolean. You can have untick or tick kind of structure. Then comes your next part, that is your date format. You can choose it from a calendar. It will show you a calendar over here. So I'll click over here. You'll show you a calendar to choose a specific date. Then it will
Mm-hmm.
come like this. If you will have it differently, just like time period, and it will come as month. So you can basically choose in your cell. You can always choose a month over here. Then comes your like time period. You can choose any type. It can be month, quarter, year, half year. Then comes your list. So list basically comes handy for using some formula structure, that is sum and things. So if I'll go inside this project, if I'll choose this as project, I'll always have the list of project. I can always choose it from here.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Then this is just the selective access dependent. These things these are not necessary. And then comes your text, which we have is if it is link or email kind of structure, you can write anything in text. Then comes your no data. That cell will have no data. So this no data means this will not give you cell value. Your count for cell would be zero, and you can't write anything inside this. Easy
Mm-hmm.
that easy as well. So this is how format thing is there. The we yeah. So list subset is kind of new thing. So basically, if I'll go inside project or any of the ongoing, see this is the subset part. So basically, there can be 100 items in a list, and I only want to use two of those items. So I can always create a subset. Subset is basically a separate category that needs to be created. For example, I'll write this as test subset, or I'll write this one, two, three, four. For example, like this. If I'll go to grid, I can select which part of the list I want to use. So this is test one, two, three, four. If I'll go to this uh, test two, or I'll say this one, it is the, no, let me create another model to give you a specific one. So basically, I'll have a simpler dimension inside this project. If I'll take only test two, I'll go through this, and I'll go through this. So inside test 2, I don't have access because we have marked it as this. Let me off selective access. So, and then I'll go to the project. We might have no access as per the system. Mhm. Items. I hope we are using the same list. So if you can see, we'll have only one line item over here that, and but inside department we have four things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So just in case if we have 100 products, so we might end up using only 50 that are the active. We might end up decreasing that inactive products which are not in use as per that company strategy or whatever sales thing. So we can have subsets updated as per that
Okay.
only these needs to be go through that calculation part. So subset is kind of a thing that is used to have optimization inside your model. Like whatever needs to be used, only that will go forward, and we can always have whole list, but we can always mark whatever active things are there which needs to be there in the calculation. This is how you can make a multiple subset as per department. Maybe sales team wants to have only two products, maybe calculation or maybe finance team wants to have all the products. We can have create multiple subsets and can update that as per the requirement.
So you created a subset, and where did you link it with the department?
So I have created this subset inside department list. It will
Okay.
already automatically show up. Then you can take or untake it, and then you can use it inside your calculation module.
Okay.
So over here, if you see, I have used the subset. In case if I'll use the department whole list, I'll go through this. If I'll go through this, then I'll have all the names. But as I was using subset, it will have the limited number of names. So this is used in mostly inside your optimization view for list subset. This is just a drop-down list that I already showed you inside format. So it is just an overview of that. Like if you want your
Number format
this
change. Yeah.
Yeah, if you want this to be in list drop down, you can always choose any of the category. And then
Mm-hmm.
you will have this list as drop down
Yeah.
inside the cell value. So this is regarding this. Then more of just an overview to all the list and what it is number list, what is composite that already we did. Then comes the example part. If you want to create geographical structure, location kind of thing, it can be your country, then region, then comes your state, then comes your maybe city, then comes your street. So you can create a parent hierarchy structure using different set of data. For product hierarchy, also it will give you some kind of stuff. Like this would be your parent, this would be your next part, just like that. It will give you different activities to do that. In that manner, you'll go through the list structure. This is how like manually adding list. So these are different lessons, like going through the same board.
Okay. And how can we instead, like, if we have like 1,000 employees,
Yeah. So
how?
you can always import. So basically, there's an option inside list, and that option is although everywhere. So basically, if I'll go with n number of employees, so we can always import data inside from a CSV or from a text file. You can always import n number. For example, I have this file handy, so I'll open this. And if I want to have n number of data, for example, I want these all to be there. I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to type it, so I'll go through this. Now, if I'll choose that file, I'll have that product code as employee. I'll have that code also as uh, uh, product code. Then we can have it like this. If I'll run this import, I'll have all that data. Okay, this is an just a number list that we have marked. So inside number list, you don't have name because name is always, you can know
One, two,
that
three,
it
four.
is duplicate kind of structure.
Mm.
So you can always go through that. Then we'll go with code, and then you'll end up creating that. So 53 has been created. So you are not manually creating that, but if I'll go through this, you can see these are the codes
Mm-hmm.
that I have uploaded. You can always
So the
input
name
import.
will not come.
Yeah, because this is number list.
Mm-hmm.
If I'll import it that inside department,
It will be okay.
the yeah department is also we have kept it as number list. Just
Yeah.
let me go through this custom version. So this is on simple list. If I go through this file again, I'll show you
Yeah.
more options over here. But yeah, so you can go with this. I'll go with product name and code should be your product code. So if there would be uniqueness or there could be same name, I haven't gone through this file, but
Mm-hmm.
just marking it as name or code. So it will not take same names, but if it is different, then it will take everything. Fortunately, everything was different. So we have 53 created. If I'll do this, we'll have all the
Mm-hmm.
names as well as the codes in front of them.
Right. Okay.
So this is how you can import data inside Anaplan.
Mm-hmm.
Just
So
showing
what
you
is
another,
properties?
yeah, just a second. So if I'll show you one more thing, if I am basically importing this, so there are more options to that. That is basic options there that is not used a lot. So basically, if your data is starting from header 2, you can always change your. This is the most important option in this
Mm.
whole thing. Then other than that, it's not mandatory. So basically, you can always start with if this is your just a title row, you can mark this that your header row is 2 and then first data row is 3. Just like that, you can always change these things
So
while
you
you're
have to change
importing them.
both the options. It's not
Yeah,
option that if you're changing the first
you
option.
can change for like the second option will directly change most
Okay.
probably in the cases,
Mm-hmm.
but you can always look
Okay.
after that. Regarding the properties, it is more of that we have already created, if you remember. So basically, this is the
Okay.
property.
And
Like
configure.
if a configure is more of an those options which we are seeing on the front end
Yeah.
side. So top level parent hierarchy, category or data type, selective access, just like that number list. So you can do that from here also.
Okay.
This is all about lists. They like like while you'll work on that, you might end up coming with more doubts. But as of now, this is something on a brief view regarding the list structure, and then you will
Mm-hmm.
end up creating these lists and things like that.
Okay.
So this is more of an activity standpoint.
Okay.
Probably we have just from a view we have completed till L4, and then comes your from like from L7 onwards. These are only activities from till here.
Okay.
These are only activities that needs to be done. After this, this will come. These are short lessons, but yeah, the
Mm-hmm.
major parts is till L7 only. After that, it is more of an activity and doubts kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll probably go through module design and modules tomorrow, and we might end up working on like going through the importing also. Importing into modules is also just kind of same inside list. But yeah,
Okay. Okay. Sounds good.
okay, got it. So if you have any doubt till now, you can ask me. Otherwise, we can close the session.
I think we are good to close. Let's
Oh,